Good day everyone, this is Dude. Welcome to my channel. So, as you probably saw from the title card, I am going to be talking about a condition I have called trigeminal neuralgia. Now in the background I have a Placid plastic duck simulator because it's nice and calming, and this is kind of a heavier topic to say the least. So, trigeminal neuralgia, for a quick explanation, is a nervous system disorder that affects the trigeminal nerve, which is a nerve that affects your face. You have two trigeminal nerves, one on your left side, one on your right, and then it branches off into three branches. One that goes towards your forehead, one that goes towards the middle of your face, and one that goes towards your jaw. In my case, my right side trigeminal nerve has flare-ups. Now, the other thing about trigeminal neuralgia is it is considered one of the most painful conditions in all of medicine. Some of the other ones are listed as kidney stones or giving birth, and testimonial from people who have had those conditions and trigeminal neuralgia at least go, the upside to both of those are temporary issues usually, although kidney stones obviously can reoccur. But trigeminal neuralgia, it's not fully known why it always flares up, and it will flare up and do its thing at random. And when it comes to pain, it can be anything from, hey, having essentially like a severe Charlie horse in your face, for the easiest example, or the feeling of electric knives shooting out of your face in multiple directions or stabbing into your jaw. And to say it's not fun. And it can be triggered by all kinds of things. Slight breeze, looking a certain direction, breathing, eating, just because the day ends in Y. It really does trigger when it wants to, when it's in full force. Now, I'll be going into details of how I got diagnosed and more in depth into treatments for how I've managed to handle the pain and all that. But those will be other videos, and it also greatly affects everyone around you, even though they're not suffering, but you bring them into it. And again, that will be addressed in a follow-up video. Now, right now, I'm lucky. Was able to have what is referred to as microvascular decompression surgery, which is essentially a minor type of brain surgery, where they essentially do remove a small portion of the skull to help alleviate pressure on the nerve, and thankfully that seems to have gone well. As of right now, I'm actually in, I think, towards the end of what would be a flare-up episode, but it's nothing compared to what it had been prior to surgery. I mean, this is very minimal pain at best, and it's more just an annoyance factor than anything, which is great. And I had my surgery about almost 8 months at the time of this recording, and it takes time for the nerve to heal after the surgery because there's prior damage. It takes time, and where the eventual baseline is, who knows, but I can tell you life has been fantastic ever since. But anyway, one of the other reasons I'm bringing this up is occasionally when I'm doing my videos, you'll see my hand shaking and all. Well, there's two factors to this. One, I'm relatively new to this, and I still get a little nervous when doing the builds and trying to think of things to talk about and showing things off. Second, it's somewhat of a side effect of medicines I have been on in the past to try to mitigate some of the pain I've had. In particular, the two that I were on were Tegretol and Lyrica. Now, from the pain perspective, they're fantastic meds. However, side effects are just that. And I've noticed because of I think it's the Tegretol, although it might have been a combination of that or some of the others I've taken. It sometimes gets a little more pronounced when I'm nervous. My hands start shaking a little more. It's nothing outlandish, to say the least. But yeah, if anyone notices, it's nothing to worry about. Have no degeneration in muscle or any strength or anything. That's the good side. I will say withdrawal when I was weaning off of Lyrica, that was a nightmare. But yeah, trigeminal neuralgia normally affects women over the age of 50, not men in the early 30s. So yeah, that was it made it a challenge in a lot of ways to get diagnosed and all. And yeah, that was a lot of suffering before that, and even the medications only do so much. And you will have fine days, and then you will have days where you're essentially praying the Grim Reaper shows up. And he doesn't. But yeah. This is just a brief explanation of what I deal with, why there's some handshaking, and one of the reasons I've started doing these videos is to get back into being able to talk, because flare-up, I can't talk when it's bad, barely eat if any. I've gone 11 days without eating, only having a carnation shake to sustain me for the day, and as much water as I can get down in between the flare-ups. And the time frame can be anything between, hey, there's going to be a flare-up every 30 minutes to, hey, there's going to be a flare-up every 30 seconds. And it lasts 20 seconds. So it's essentially one non-stop torture session that your own body is inflicting on you. But again, doing much better now after the surgery. And that's not something that they can just do right away. That there's steps to everything. And I'll get into that more later. But yeah, some of my things I've been doing lately has been trying to improve speaking again, because, you know, being muted at times makes it hard to continue speaking for long periods of time. Improving my speech, and actually it's a good therapy to be doing stuff with my hands where I'd be slightly nervous to help fight back that issue. I mean, when I first got off the medications, one of the best ways to actually work on the minor shakes that I occasionally would get from nerves, and once you notice them, it makes you more nervous, which just kind of feeds into itself, is actually just reading books. So I've gone through a lot of my manga collection and some other books, because just holding that helped force me to work on steadying, and that helped retrain things, as it were. So, anyway, thank you for tuning in. And I can guarantee you the next topics will be a lot more informative of how the condition is diagnosed, how to handle this pain, and how it affects others. So, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.